different.
Oh, What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are stocks pumping so insane right now, and yet Bitcoin is just continuing to go sideways? Well, I'm going to let you know that I do anticipate a very big move for Bitcoin this week, by the way, whether or not that be catching up or falling down. Now, you might be feeling a little bit of FUD due to the fact that Silvergate Bank is going through some issues, and I'm not going to lie, that really only leaves one out of the major 4 banks left if Silvergate does go under. But I'm going to tell you why in today's video. Everything could change. There is a massive game changer on the way for the crypto industry. And also, we have the state of Pennsylvania doing something that we have never seen for Bitcoin for the first time ever. So while everyone is still out there trying to FUD, right? We've even had Bybit saying that they were halting USD withdrawals. I need to let you guys know about that silver lining that is underneath or behind that dark cloud. You guys know how that saying goes. And also, I want to let you know why the CEO of DeVere Group actually says that the use case for Bitcoin is about to become significantly stronger. So if all that sounds good to you today, we're going to hop into the charts. I do believe we have a move on the way, and stick around to the end because there's a lot of FUD, and I think that by the time you're done watching this video, you might feel a little bit more confident based on the current Bitcoin situation. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you guys are not subscribed, definitely consider it. I will try to keep this video a little bit shorter. I do have some guys doing some work downstairs. If you hear like a drill or they're like putting some shelves up and stuff. But I will try to keep this video moving. So as you guys can see right here, stocks having a massive rally off the bottom right here. They are up about 4% roughly. Bitcoin still going sideways, but as you can see, Bitcoin has thus far managed to hold the fact that it is still in this parallel channel. We have still put in a higher low and a higher high, and you can see right here, we are about to approach this previous resistance. So what I don't like is the fact that we did fall back below this for a second time. And I did mention that, right? I pointed out right here, I did not like the fact that we fell below this pivot, but it doesn't mean that we're necessarily, just going to have a complete dump right now. There is still the possibility of a double bottom fake out back down to around 21,480. But I do think if we go down to those levels, unless we just instantly fill that CME futures gap we've talked about, I do think that that will be a fake out, and I do think that we will at least attempt to hit the top of this range or at least one more shot at the top of this channel. And the reason that I say that is because I don't feel that there was enough fake out from the whales if we were to just have a straight forward crash at this point. I don't think that euphoria really hit maximum just yet. The same way that everybody was freaking out on 15,500, they thought we were going to go to 10,000. Right now, you're still seeing people a little bit reluctant. I'm still seeing a lot of comments about how it is a fake out, how we are going to go a lot lower. And generally speaking, and I'm not saying that, people don't know what they're talking about. I believe people who watch these videos are very intelligent. I believe you're a very, very intelligent person. But I do think oftentimes when the herd is still all saying that, this is just a big fake out trap, kind of makes me think even if it was, we would still push a little bit higher, right? So if you guys do want to get subscribed, make sure that you do, because we're going to go over these once we do see these moves. Follow the Telegram. Also, make sure that you watch this tutorial popping up above. And if you do want to learn how to trade on a decentralized exchange where you don't have to provide KYC and you do hold your own custody, I highly recommend checking out my Apex Pro tutorial, which I spent a lot of time on, and I would appreciate it if you guys check that out. So you can see right here, though, once again, lots of people saying, oh, we're just doing the same thing here. Higher highs, higher lows, right? Not exactly, guys. Very different. We came off of a massive, massive downtrend. This was a bear pennant, okay? This is not what we're doing here. We came off of a massive uptrend, and we're not doing a rising wedge pattern. We're doing a rising parallel channel pattern. They're completely different. And yes, this is more bullish than this was. That's just textbook. Now, of course, that doesn't mean anything. There's always a 60% chance, right? That it does what we want, 40% chance that it doesn't, right? These are just probabilities. But if you do notice right here, if we just have a look, we still do have this money flow moving to the upside. And really, we haven't had, I mean, I guess if you want to connect it all the way back here, but, nevertheless, guys, look at this. Look at how low the RSI is. Look at the red that we're in right now. Okay, this is on the weekly. And if you go even lower than this on the daily shows we could be setting up again for another move, and 4 hour just put in a small green dot right here. So this is telling me, and there was actually a liquidation there. And look at this, guys. We have whale buying on the wave edge, and we have an X for reversal. So this is telling me that there could, at least minimally, even if you still think that Bitcoin has to go lower, even if you still think we're in a bear trend and you don't think this is a reversal, I still believe that Bitcoin is going to have a move to the upside first before dumping to the downside, just simply to catch people off guard, right? And that move could be happening literally as soon as this video. And I just want to point out that Mustache definitely said that the fractal from 2019 is kind of looks like a lot what we're doing right now. Do fractals always play out? Not necessarily. But, just kind of looking at this, it sort of does look like Bitcoin wants to push higher, right? Just kind of pointing that out. And, again, we did say that there was that possibility. Maybe we do get faked out at that 22.8K level, and then we go into a giant falling wedge. Well, guess what, guys? Falling wedges are inherently bullish, as you guys can see right here. I did not mean to move that. So that was what we were doing in the S&P. Boom, massive move to the upside. We go back here. Even if Bitcoin was to fall all the way down here, boom, it's still a bullish pattern, right? And worst case scenario would just be bouncing around until mid-June, but that would be great accumulation. So either way, guys, Bitcoin has not broken its downtrend. It has not broken its uptrend fully. We did break the legacy downtrend, which is good. So ultimately, that is what we're looking at. So that's essentially what's going on in the charts. Now, let's talk about all this FUD that's been going on, right? The SEC, all these stories, rehashing Tether FUD, Bybit, notice on suspension of USD payments for banks transfers, right? So people are freaking out that, even down here, were you using Silvergate network for USD? And, realizing that there were basically 4 major crypto banks that were working with crypto. And Silvergate was one of the largest, and now they're having issues. This leaves us with just one bank, right? Well, guys, enter Kraken. Yes, guys, Kraken. Huge, huge news. I love this exchange. They've always been, in my opinion, one of the good guys out there. And it looks like they may be moving ahead to launch their own bank. Yes, Kraken. This is incredible, guys. And these guys have been in the space. They know what they're doing. They're not like from the banking world coming into the crypto world. No, they're in the crypto world. They've dealt with banks. They've seen it. They were one of the first exchanges to do the liabilities as well as the assets. And now they're saying, despite challenging regulatory environments, it does appear that Kraken is very much on track to launch their own bank. And this is directly from Kraken's chief legal officer. So this is not a rumor. This is not speculation. He says, we're going to have those pens with little ball chains. We're going to order thousands of them and attach them to the desks of Wall Street banks everywhere with our logo on it. So they're very serious about this. I think this would be groundbreaking. I think this would be huge if Kraken, coming from the crypto space, being in the, with Jesse Powell and all these guys and all the knowledge and information and experience and time that they've spent in the market, also seeing the FTX collapse, seeing the scams, right? These are OGs in the space. And if this goes through, it's going to be amazing. Now, they did decline to talk about their situation with the SEC, but they did say it's really indicative of a pretty unfortunate situation here in the US. We've got a regulatory environment that is essentially forcing users to use offshore exchanges that will gladly accept their business with as little as a VPN. This is a problem, right? Especially in the US. But you know what I think? I think Gary Gensler and friends feel kind of silly. They missed everything. They missed everything, right? They didn't catch Voyager. They didn't catch 3 Arrows. They didn't catch Celsius. FTX, conspiracy. We don't know if they were involved, but let's be honest, they didn't catch FTX, right? So now I think they're almost overdoing it, right? And that's exactly what we tend to see all the time when it comes to the regulation in the US or just these different type of entities. What happens is they tend to over-regulate at first, right? They attack everything. Everything's a scam. Everything's a security. Everything's a shitcoin. Everything is out to just take your money, right? And then ultimately they start to pull back. But listen to this. Before I go on, let me just tell you guys why the SEC does not want crypto banned, okay? Because if they ban crypto, do you know how much money they miss out on if you just ban it altogether? Think about all the fees and all the penalties that they could make with regulation and all these guys that have to sign, right? You know what I'm trying to say? So they don't want to ban it. they want to regulate it. They want to make money, right? Because they're not making money from taxes. They're not. They're actually an independent agency, right? They make money off of charging other people for fees and fines, etc., right? They don't want to ban Bitcoin, trust me. They don't want to ban crypto, trust me. It's a whole playground for them, okay? So he does go on to say, though, that we're returning to an era where banks are going to be very cautious as to what accounts they open. Wall Street is going to be fine. Kraken and Coinbase are going to be fine. But the guy or gal who has a new idea, probably going to be pretty difficult for them to start it up. So these guys are in the space. They are one of the most legitimate and probably respectable and knowledgeable people to be doing something like this. And they did clarify some of that conspiracy stuff. You know, they went on to say there's definitely not some anti-crypto group that meets every week in some shadowy room in DC, but there are a group of regulators who happen to all feel roughly the same way about crypto. I think they just believe basically in one fundamental thing, that what crypto is today is what's important, and what it will be or could be in the future really isn't. In other words, they're not concerned about the innovation. They don't care what it could be or where it could go. They're just looking at it right now, and they're just seeing what it is and how it affects its users and, of course, its funds, and, you know, obviously making money off of these types of penalties, fines, etc., right? Big news. Whether you are a supporter of nuclear power or not, that is a topic for another day. But this is just in. America's first nuclear-powered Bitcoin mining farm has gone online in Pennsylvania. So it is crazy to see, you know, you have these states like New York, right, cracking down. And then you have stuff like this where you're seeing, you know, Bitcoin nuclear-powered mining, right? And also, I believe I saw a story in passing. I think it was Kazakhstan was also looking into Bitcoin mining as well. Somebody fill me in on that. I didn't get a chance to report it. I'm sure that'll be out tomorrow. But just ending on this note, you know, the CEO of DeVere Group, Nigel Green, he spoke about the fact that eventually the U.S. may be moving towards this CBDC type of an area. And he says that the case for Bitcoin becomes increasingly stronger. Now, this was after you had the U.S. Department Undersecretary in a speech saying that U.S. officials are actively evaluating whether a CBDC is in the national interest or not. And, you know, coming down here, you see what CBDCs might be an advantage, including a convenience, efficiency, etc., but they don't have privacy. But the U.S. is joining the CBDC race more fully, and it underscores that the digital world is inevitable. It is the future of money. It is coming in the not too distant future, and he believes we will have a multifaceted system of currencies, including fiat, CBDCs, and crypto. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. As I said, ignore the FUD, keep on stacking, not financial advice, but you know how I feel about that. I do think we're going to have a big move for Bitcoin. I do think it's going to shock a lot of people. But nevertheless, guys, let me know what you think below in the comments. That's it for me. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. Make sure you check out this tutorial right here, right now, if you want to learn how to trade responsibly and profitably. And until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.